So he took her to the airport in the morning and I was at home. And then when he came back, he prepared breakfast. I remember dumpling and something. I don't remember what. And I was eating. And then he said, would you marry me? I said, this man crazy.
Welcome to the New Foundation Christian Ministries B1 Marriage Ministry video podcast. I am your host, Donald McFarlane, and my co-host is
Natalie Irving Mattox. I want to thank our viewers for tuning in each week. Welcome back to season 2 of the B1 Ministries Marriage Ministry video podcast. We were on a break for a few weeks. Of course, just like everybody else, married people need some time for themselves to reflect, and so we took the time off during the December. We're back and we're ready to go. What do you say, Bishop?
Well, very excited about that, I must tell you.
Yes.
These are the wars, the Doctors Timon and Melonia war, who I'm so excited, bursting at the seams to have you here on set.
Yes.
Share with us. I really want to make you be the source of much of the information more than myself speaking. But as Natalie and I journey and we discuss the possibility of having you, but I tell you, when I see you fit the bill, I'm not exaggerating. I put it this way, it's like a lot of products out there in the market,
yes,
but they are inferior, substandard. And I know, having journeyed with you and outside of just being with you, that you represent authentic marriage relationship.
Yes.
So I could not be more excited having both of you here. So we will want to learn from scratch a little bit more, Natalie, and for our audience.
Yes.
About.
Yes. So I just want to say for this week we're going to focus a little bit on their journey. The topic for the next few episodes will be growing in success. We're also celebrating Valentine's, the love month, as you can see from our attire, red and white. So journey with us as we speak to the.
We are in love though.
Of course.
Yes.
So who want to go first? So maybe I should start with the lady, War.
Okay.
Always ladies before gentlemen.
How did you meet?
How did I meet? Church.
All right. You better take their foundation before. Let's establish the family.
Right.
Yes.
We need to, yes.
Tell us a little bit about your family from which you come.
Well, I was born in Kingston. I was told that my mother migrated to England when I was 1 year old. So I was given to an aunt, rural St. Catherine, Golden River above rocks. And I guess a few years later, she handed me over to my grandmother. So I was grown with my grandmother at Golden River above rocks until at the age of about 21, I was at Golden River above rocks.
Okay. So up in St. Anne's Road.
Right.
Yes.
So
Very far.
I didn't know much about those from my mother's side of family until I was probably in my teens. I make an effort to find them. So all I knew about was that from my father's side of family.
Okay. Interesting. How different, if any?
Well, mine is quite different.
Yes.
I am from a very large family. I actually have 14 siblings. Well, actually 15 siblings.
Oh yeah.
Unreserved.
Unreserved.
And 14 of those would be same mother and same father. So I grew up in a very large, closely knit family.
Too close.
I am sixth of the 14.
Yes.
My father had one child before he and my mother came together, and that child also is very close to the family nonetheless. She didn't really grow with us, but our father ensured that we were still very close. So growing up in that setting, one of the things that has always been a tremendous value is that both parents were very committed Christians. And I believe that laid the foundation for everything else. So the usual, church, Sunday school, morning, evening, and every day during the week and so on was a must. Devotion, family devotion, 5 o'clock every morning.
Yes.
Rain or shine, cold or warm, out of bed, gather together for family devotion. That's the kind of setting. Both parents and one thing were committed to each other. I reflect that I don't ever recall not having both parents at home any night for all my growing up. I can't recall they were being out. So every night I know I go to bed with both mother and father in the house. I don't recall having had that. So that basically is the foundation setting that I grew up in. I could give you a lot more details, but I'll hold the rest.
Yes. So let's journey then. So tell us more about how you met.
Okay.
What I like is that both of you has, both of you have a little different background. So Dr. Waugh spoke about his close-knit family. And
it might be better you just say Timon, because I said Dr. Waugh and Dr. Waugh. So Timon would be perfect.
Right. Dr. Timon spoke about the close-knit family that he grew up in, and you were a little different. Your mom was overseas. You met her basically in your teens. So yes, a little bit of a different background. So it's interesting to know how both of you met.
Well, as I said, it was through church. So I know him from a distance in church, not close. But Timon and his sister, we were friends. So it started by, I was a pastor, and I used to go to Golden River by taking the bus. He used to live in Stonehill. So when I'll be at the bus stop, like waiting to get the bus, he will pass and he will give me a drive if I'm at the bus stop. So that brings us a little closer knowing each other, but never have a clue that he had his eyes on me. And the reason for that is, so I remember that taking me to church, I think it would be good to say thank you. So it comes to December and everybody giving gift. So I remember this particular Sunday night, he gave me a drive home. So I asked him if he could wait a minute. So I run inside, I prepared a gift for him. So I run inside, it was a towel set. I run inside, well wrapped, and I take it back. And he looked at it and he turned it over about 6 times. And then he says, "Who is this for?" I'm saying, "But I just told you it's for you." I said, "To say thanks." So if the earth could just open and take me in. I felt so bad. So in walking away from that, I never knew he had an eye on me at all. Yes. So we continue our journey. He would take me to church, but he'll never ever show any interest or anything.
Yes.
And one day, it was in the August of '91, I was at his house. His sister was going to what we called in the church General Assembly, where everybody meets, international church. In Cleveland, I think she was going. So, because we're good friends, I came and I was helping her to, put together and everything. So he took her to the airport in the morning and I was at home. And then when he came back, he prepared breakfast. I remember dumpling and something. I don't remember what. And I was eating. And then he said, would you marry me? I said, this man crazy.
No, he prepared the breakfast, a dumpling breakfast.
Dumpling and something. It might be saltfish.
Yeah.
I remember the dumpling because he still makes fabulous dumplings.
Yes.
For all our years of marriage, on a Saturday morning, breakfast, and most times it's fried dumpling.
Yes.
So I remember the fried dumpling. It might be saltfish. So anyway, I didn't give him an answer. I was pastoring then. So about probably 2 months of them asking his pastor now.
Yeah.
No, not his pastor, the national overseer.
What?
Called me to say I should come to his office. Furthest thing from my mind.
Yes.
And then he says, I got a call from this pastor that one of his members approached me and I'm not giving them an answer.
It's just like that.
Just never sounds so real. But, those days, 29 years ago, that's how it goes. So I told him I was considering and, I think probably at that time I might have said yes. It's like I was caught in a corner. And, that's how the meeting goes. And that was August of 91. And we got married February of 92.
You mean, what's that?
6 months.
6 months. Well, you see,
Interesting.
on this set, whatever is said becomes inspiration, information, or instruction. So we'll have to explore some of these pointers to see how the current crop of people who are intending to be married, whether they need to get a formula of making dumpling for breakfast and then propose. Or what, But before I ask the man to weigh, Mel, I hear a lot of the interest being shown initially by Timon. Yes?
I wouldn't say that.
No. Because I wonder, did the sister play a role?
No.
No, she didn't play a role. Yeah, and what?
Timon just didn't show any interest at all.
No interest at all.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
it was very sweetly safe. As well, very sweetly safe.
So what?
So
after 29 years, would you come clean and say somewhere in the recesses of your mind when you made that towel presentation, you were making a little statement?
No.
Oh, you were sweetly safe as well.
Guess what? I think probably because I was a pastor.
Yes.
It was the furthest thing from my mind. Actually I was saying, okay, now I become a pastor. This thing look like it now go happen.
Oh, I see.
I wasn't so sure how a brother would approach a pastor.
Yeah.
So it was not my mind.
Oh.
Okay. And probably I think I was in this caliber. No, but I was just genuinely saying thank you.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Well, you and Timon is
the truth is, and I am being honest here.
Yes.
I don't remember all
that
she said. I really don't remember.
Surprise.
And I think to a great extent I am like that. I move on. Yes. So I these sentimental and kind of thing is not me.
Yeah.
So I really seriously don't remember the time when I proposed.
Yes.
She remembers.
Do you remember about 6 months?
No, I don't remember. I remember the general circumstances surrounding it, but the details,
Right.
I'm really not one to remember those kind of details.
Yes.
So you can't remember how many more years.
But you were the one who proposed to her.
Yes.
Once he remembers that,
Right.
And,
Yes.
and a lot of times she will say to me, "You can't remember that."
Yes.
Oh, you mustn't remember, but
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yes.
But from my point of view, or what I recall of it, is that yes, I would transport her mainly on a Sunday morning.
No,
And-
you give me a ride because he was passing. Don't say transport like you
Yeah.
come to pick me up.
oh, so you didn't go to pick her up
No,
deliberately? Oh,
no.
you just saw her on
Yeah.
the road.
Right.
Okay.
I want it.
Again,
All right.
give
Okay.
give a ride transport. I didn't know that there was a difference. Still learning.
You're still learning.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Still learning.
You're even after 29
Yeah,
years.
Still learning.
Right,
Still
sir?
learning.
With you.
difference.
With you.
One is a deliberate
Yes.
act and one is
Yes,
just by the way.
I'm with you.
I might put myself at the bus stop, but he did not come to pick me up.
Oh, you put yourself at the bus stop.
Well, I know. Well, I wanted to drive because the bus was unreliable.
Okay.
So, like, I know the time you were passing by.
Yes.
So I'll try to reach to the bus stop that I could
Yes.
get the drive.
Right.
Right. But
And
it's
so
not,
tell
that,
me-
it's not that if he didn't see me, he would try to find me or
Right.
no.
And certainly you didn't call each other before.
I don't even
I know
know
cellular
where-
world. I know
Those were not the days.
I know.
When
Never
phones.
Just
But you
teasing.
didn't send a telegram either.
not even just cell phone. Cell phone did not exist
Right.
in
Right.
Jamaica at that time.
Right.
But it was a challenge to even get a house phone
Yes.
at that time. It was
Yeah.
something you had to apply and wait in.
Yeah.
Right.
So that kind of a communication
Predate.
was not in place then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I learned something.
Right.
Thanks for this set. I
Yeah.
learned there's a difference between transporting and
Giving a ride.
giving a ride.
Okay.
Okay, right. So, according to the newfound knowledge, I gave her a ride.
Yes.
That's funny. Yes.
And it wasn't with any intent. It was out of basically genuine wanting to help because she was pastoring in Golden River. I was going to church in Rockall. From Rockall to Golden River was a walk through a shortcut of about a mile and 2 miles.
It would take about 40 minutes to hour.
Yes.
Okay.
about an hour.
Alright.
Right. So I really wanted to help in that sense. And it was just that.
Yeah.
But I think over time that provided an avenue to observe her, and an association developed, and then the attraction come after that. And I was not one who was out there looking for a relationship. I was just living life and enjoying life. So when the time I think came when I felt a need for a companion, that is when I now start praying and asking God for direction. And I felt attraction and a peace and comfort about her, and that's when I
Yes.
asked her to marry me.
After 6 months of knowing her, correct?
No,
No, I would have known her much longer.
Is it
Oh,
asking
six
and the
months.
marriage is
Asking
6
and the-
months?
okay.
No,
Good.
I would have known. I don't even remember exactly how long I would have known her, because apart from giving her a ride, that's the correct
Yeah,
term.
that's all right. Yeah. Yeah.
Apart from giving her a ride, I also interacted through, because the churches were in the same zone.
Yeah.
So we were kind of neighboring churches, so we interacted at rallies and other
Yeah.
crusades and so on. And we also worked together in the camping ministry, summer camp. So I would have interacted in several ways with her.
Okay.
But a takeaway, you know, even as we look at this, though you did not sit down and read a manual,
Yes.
but how it unfolded, there are some things for me that seem quite instructive. Like one, your relationship could be said was birthed out of friendship, meaning predating, knowing each other like that. Yes? So it was not, and not that I'm saying you can't meet a perfect stranger,
Right.
you know, but when you decide to propose, you knew something sufficiently to lead you in that direction. Yes? You clearly, from that, you mentioned even about praying. Because within the context of Christianity, as you know, many young Christians will tap in on this, there's a place of prayer in when you are intending and seeking a life's partner. Yes? What I'm trying to pick up the nuggets
Yes.
from how things unfolded. There seemed to have been a role of spiritual people,
Yes.
at the very least, right?
Yes.
Because you mentioned, Mel, that the national overseer, that's a top office in a denominational, you know,
Yes.
called her as a pastor.
Yes.
But the call to the meeting was that he, the national, had gotten a call from another pastor who was a pastor of Timon to say to her.
That's interesting.
So,
Guys.
yeah, right. So, you know, all I'm saying is, we know that all relationships will not travel this route.
Yes.
But clearly for me, that was, I want to see an admirable, you know, passage that was traveled, you know.
Yes, so there
That-
was no hide and seek, no dating behind the, you know,
Yes.
the outside of your spiritual leaders knowing about it. It developed solidly, you
Yeah.
know. So you had the blessing, I would say, of somebody who you respect and admire. You seek some guidance,
Yes.
and so on, before
Yes.
you even went further.
Without even saying that, no,
Yes.
we're not saying now that if somebody is going to, has an interest, they have to route it through the pastor for approval. That's not what
No,
we are
that's not
saying.
what we're saying.
You know, but the involvement of spiritual persons.
Yes.
You know, and I know I come from a place to where I understand the value of that.
Yes.
Because that did kind of set my life on a different path when my mentor
Exactly.
spoke into my life about the way I should go.
Right.
So I appreciate how you're journeying there, and so that brought you. But then, Timon, this was a pastor. You're not even an evangelist with a title. Then how you approaching a pastor? and you're a brother in the church. Tell me, was that intimidating in any way, shape, or form? You know.
No, you know,
No.
it wasn't at all for me.
No, not at all.
It wasn't at all. And till this day, I see people.
Yes.
I don't see titles.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I wouldn't even notice that she was a pastor
Yes,
at the time.
yes.
In that kind
I
of
fully-
setting. In a setting where it requires it, I would, of course, give the appropriate titles and so on.
Sure.
But until this day,
Yeah.
I am not one to be concerned about office or title or
Yes.
positions.
Yes.
People are people.
Yes.
Well,
You're
sure.
a confident man.
Well, sure enough, when we continue and you know, through the course, I know, and we know, and the people will know
Yes.
that this is the Reverend Dr. Melonia Ward.
Yes.
And Dr. Timon Ward, who pastors, she's a pastor, she's a named pastor in the church.
Yes.
But we'll understand her pastor.
Yes.
You know, interesting things that we will look at. Well, here we are. What can I say?
Yeah.
I can only but say thanks to you, was Timon and Melonia, for joining us on set, journeying from your inception, your own family, to where we have closed out, and so much more. I'm sure your contribute at disposal that persons wanting to even engage you, to tap into you. You're there. From my heart to yours, fully appreciate. Thanks.
Thank you so much too.
Yes, thank you.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you.
Indeed.
So I want to really thank Timon and Melonia Wall for joining us on set. It has really been a tremendous journey. I want to thank our sponsor, Matox Health and Fitness. I want to implore to our viewers to continue to watch and send your comments. We appreciate the feedback. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Foundation Christian Ministries. Follow us on Facebook at New Foundation Christian Ministries and on Instagram at B1 Marriage Ministry. Thanks to our resident producer George Malcolm Walker and Damian De Aguilar. Thank you. See you next time. Goodbye.